So right now we're about to start our new second training session, which is the facilitated peer feedback. And you'll be joining me with the team. So I'm Noha.
Hi, I'm Simone.
Hi, I'm Reem.
Hi, I'm Kristen.
Hi, I'm Catherine.
Perfect. Okay, so peer facilitated feedback. And I hear that Kristen has a challenge for us.
Yeah, I actually do. I'm head of bystander intervention, and something that has been a challenge has been we've taken the time to really write out our presentation and a proposal for how we want our initiative to go, but no one is attending the workshops, and so we don't really know what to do about that.
And what is the ideal outcome?
We would love for every first year to attend a workshop.
Perfect. Okay, so thank you so much for presenting us with the challenge. I have my stopwatch ready to go. So now we have 5 minutes where individuals can just ask questions.
So what is the size of your first year students that you wish to attend?
There are 800 students,
Okay.
How long are the workshops?
45 minutes.
Is the workshop taking place on campus?
On campus.
What time is it?
Usually after the end of classes around 5.
Is it just once a week or just a one time?
We usually try to have a slot for twice or maybe 3 times a week.
Okay.
How did you market the events?
I don't know. Now that you ask that, I can't really think of how we've marketed besides telling administrators to tell students.
Have the administratives been supportive of the initiative?
They're usually supportive when they're in a meeting with us, but that's a great question because not a lot of students are attending.
Do you have like a presence on social media? Like, are you kind of like a club or?
We don't have any presence on social media.
Have you tried to spread the word through like friends and teachers maybe?
Yeah, I would say there's definitely a word of mouth element there. I tell my friends, I tell other first years that I know.
I'm curious to know how you joined and learned about the organization.
That's a great question. I joined because during my first year, I went to the workshop and no men attended my workshop, and they were supposed to be a part of my seminar class, which was about 50% male and female, so I thought that was super interesting, and not a lot of people were attending these workshops, especially a super important demographic.
Have you tried talking with teachers and maybe the school principal about making it a requirement?
Yes, we actually have. Students are pretty much told that they have to go, but it is not mandatory in the sense that anything happens if they don't go.
Great. And Reem, fantastic way to start to think about ways to solve the challenge. I know it's hard, but it's just questions this time. But those are excellent suggestions. I can't wait to hear more of them in the next round. Great. Any other questions?
Did you try serving food during your
Sometimes there's been pizza, but it's not really we don't necessarily, it's not on top of our list of the things that we usually do.
Did you try different methods in each session? Or let me ask this first, how many sessions have you had so far?
Well, we usually have 3 sessions a week, especially during the beginning of the year. So if it's at the end of the first semester, and there's 3 sessions per week, so in a month that would be 12. So that's about the pace that we go.
Okay. And have you, like, when you've seen that not many people are coming, have you tried different methods?
I mean, I guess that's what we're struggling with now. We've really just stuck to talking to administrators, word of mouth.
Is it spread through an email? Like, since you've had your conversations with administration, like, do they put it in like a campus-wide email?
Yeah. So the exact way that it goes through is that we talk to administration, and then administration emails their link, which is their orientation leader, and their orientation leader is kind of in charge of making sure that they get there. And so they can pass that along in whichever way they want to. It's usually email.
Time for one more question.
So the orientation leader is really kind of the middleman between.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
So it's kind of up to them if they deliver the information or not, almost.
Yeah.
Great. So now, Kristen gets a chance to hear all of your suggestions. She won't be allowed to respond now, but then she will have a chance to respond in the next round. So, which suggestions do you have for Kristen?
I have one that I just thought of. In my first year, I was required to do something similar, but it was online and it was a part of registering for class, I think. I think you had to, I think it was around 45 minutes as well, and you had to complete it online, and it would show that you've completed it either through like an email or just like in someone's database, I guess. But that was something that you had to do before signing up for like classes and all of that after orientation, usually like around starting time. So if it doesn't have to be on campus, maybe online's a good way to go because it can go to an email and a link.
And you have a lot of time to do it. I totally
Mhm.
agree with her. We had the same exact thing in my
Mhm.
school. I would also, if you do not want to do it online, I would recommend talking with teachers and try and like ask them if they can get like a bonus point if the students attend the sessions or just one of the workshops, or if you can talk with the administrative office at your school about making it a requirement where there's a consequence if they do not go to the workshops. Kind of the same idea of
Yeah.
making it online. If they do not do the online training, then they cannot sign up for courses. So if the school can have can come up with some way of creating not a very hard consequence, but something that would be realistic about kind of encouraging them to go to the workshop, basically.
An alternative way if the school or the professors aren't very collaborative with your initiative, I think you could also try different marketing techniques. I think you should definitely leverage social media. It doesn't have to be all of them, but I think having some presence online where a lot of youth are active and a lot of our students on campus are active might give you some exposure and might bring new campuses to attend the workshops. And on that also, I think it would be a good idea to reach out to student organizations on your campus and asking the leaders of these student organizations to bring their teams and participate. And this could be a cool way of, it would be a good activity for every student organization to do it as a group, but also that gives you another exposure.
I also think since the orientation leaders play kind of a big role, they should also be a point of contact, whether that's maybe training them so they're well versed in it too, so that they kind of feel invested and they can like take responsibility for a bit of it and feel like it's something that they should pass along, rather than just like incentivizing them. Maybe also training them, making sure they know what's going on. So even if their students didn't attend, maybe they could at least bring it up during orientation or something. And like,
Yeah, to build off of that, actually, it would also be cool for these orientation leaders to go to classes at the beginning of each semester and like ask professors for just 2 minutes to pitch the program to the students as they're sitting, because sometimes people ignore emails or ignore social media if they don't know you. But if a professor is willing to help you out by just giving you 2 minutes of their time at the beginning, it could make an impact.
Great. Okay, perfect. So now we'll start the clock, and Kristen is able to react and respond to the suggestions.
Well, one of the first suggestions was having it online. And I guess I like the idea of that, and that everyone would be required to do it, and you can kind of do it on your own time. But also, I guess the disadvantage of that would be you're missing that human element and that discussion and hearing other people's ideas and opinions, and that just engagement and the team building of first years, being with other first years, maybe like even making friends, something as simple as that. But that's a good point to bring up. And another point that was brought up was talking with teachers and making sure that there's more of an enforcement and a requirement. And I completely agree. That's something that we've been working on, and I think adding a consequence and not just having empty threats in more or less words is something that would be extremely helpful. And like you said, something small, but it would be helpful. Something else that was brought up that I really agreed with was that orientation leaders could pitch the program during the seminar or one of the classes. I think that's a great idea, especially because if a professor is there, it might kind of legitimize it or make it seem like it's something that they have to go to. And so I definitely agreed with that. Another idea that was brought up was reaching out to student organizations and doing it as a group. I think that's a great idea. And another one was that orientation leaders should be a point of contact. And I definitely agree with you. The links play, as you said, they're the middleman. So it would be really important for us to have direct contact with them and to ensure that they are voicing the importance of attending this workshop to the first year students. And I think that's we should have more of a dialogue with them. So that's something that I'll take into account. Thank you guys for your suggestions.
Glad they're helpful.
Great job, everyone. And Kristen, thank you so much for having the courage to bring your challenge to the group. So as you know, I'm available afterwards. We can work on a plan to put this into place. You have us all as a resource, and we look forward to seeing your success.
Thank you so
great.
much.